What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Revival. My name is JJ, and we got some pickups to do. So I'm actually probably going to have to split this up into two, just because I didn't realize I bought so much stuff recently. Like, dang, man. What I do is I'll set it aside and just have a pile of things for my next pickups video. And if I'm playing any of the games or something like that, I'll kind of just make sure I keep the cases over there. That way I can still keep track of what I'm going to use for that following video. And so it just kept, I guess, growing and growing, and then I realized, I'm recording today, and oh my gosh, I have so much. I guess, but I mean, most of it was really cheap, so that's probably why I went that route. A lot of Xbox games, which is kind of crazy. Let's just start. Let's just get into it. So, I'll start with a couple of PS4 games here. First up is a game that I'm not going to go into too much detail about, simply because it's still pretty new, and I also have a video planned to come out comparing this with the first one, and that is The Last of Us 2. I've already played and finished it, and overall, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I'm not I don't care about the politics and that kind of stuff that people bring into it, and the things they talk about. I thought it was a really fun game. There were some story decisions I would have made differently, but honestly, overall, I still really enjoyed it. I thought the voice acting was phenomenal. I thought the characters were great, and I was happy with it. So, take that as you will. So, Last of Us 2. Like I said, new video coming out soon that'll talk a lot more about that and the first one, comparing the two. Next one is a game that's been on my radar for a while that I've needed. Another PS4 game. And that is The Outer Worlds. I saw it for, I don't remember how much I saw it for, but it was really cheap, and so I just snagged it because I was like, I want to get this eventually because I really want to play it. So I picked it up, and I can't wait to dive into this. So it just looks so great, and everybody that I've talked to that has played it loves it and loves talking it up. So I absolutely cannot wait to get into this at some point. It's gonna be cool. Okay, so, as you can see, there's a lot of green here. I went on just an Xbox shopping spree. That's because I was on GameStop's website, and for a while they had a bunch of just really dirt cheap games, and I'm sure they still do, but I was just kind of you click on something and you see one game that looks kind of neat, and then it'll say well, we also recommend this and this, and I'm like, oh, well, that's cheap too. Okay, yeah, okay. Oh, that one as well. Oh, another one. They recommend this too. You just kind of go down the rabbit hole of buying games for $3-4 each, and it's just okay. Only gripe I have though is, and I don't know, I may have missed it, but a few of the games came in without their original cases, and it was just the disc in some random throwaway case that it came with. So I'm not actually even including those, and I think there were 3 of them that came like that. So I'm basically going to have to hold on to the discs and hope that I can find cases for them online at some point. So we'll have to wait and see, because I'm a little sore about that. But at the same time, when you're paying, like I said, $3-4 per game, whatever, I'll live with it, especially considering all these came with their cases. So, and most of them have everything inside that it came with originally. So I'm happy with that overall. Also, during the whole pandemic thing, as you can see, I'm still growing out all my stuff. But when I heard that vintage stock was open again, I went there and also bought a handful of stuff that was super cheap, and I was just like, this looks cool, I'll grab it. And some of the stuff I'll mention more in the next video, but as far as I think a couple of these were included in there as well, just the Xbox ones. So we'll start with the 2 Xbox One games first. This one I bought purely on the artwork because I thought it looked so cool, and that's Indivisible. I really just think the box art looks really neat. I don't know much about it. It's, I guess, a like 2D action RPG kind of thing, and I'm just like super stoked to try it out because I think the artwork is super charming, really colorful, and you know, I feel like there's a personality in the characters just based off of what I'm seeing here. So I'm excited to try this out. So, oh hey, look, it says right there on the back, an incredible amount of creativity and personality. That's what it says on the back of it. Okay, but yeah, I'm super excited to try this out at some point because it's, oh, I didn't see that. Apparently the composer that did this did music for Secret of Mana, which is one of my favorite soundtracks ever, so that's awesome too. So, super excited to try that one out. Yeah, Indivisible. And the other Xbox One game that I got is Dungeons 3, sorry. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like a claw, but it's actually 3. Dungeons 3, and it was super cheap, and this is one of the GameStop ones that I got, and I just remember looking at it and being like, oh hey, it's like an isometric RPG looking kind of thing, and it's super cheap, so sure, why not? And it's, yeah, everything's in there, so it's you know, couldn't ask for anything more. It's in really good condition. The box art's kind of cool, I guess, but, you know, it's kind of just one of those things where, like, I know that a lot of my videos are based on nostalgia, and, like, I buy a lot of games because I have memories attached to them and just never own them and whatnot. But at the same time, I am a collector, and so when I see games, regardless of genre, regardless of platform, anything like that, if I see something that's really cheap, and even slightly looks interesting at all, I'll usually pick it up. Just because I you know, I want more games. So, does that make me a greedy person? Maybe. Maybe on some level. But you know what? I like games. Anyways, so, the next are just all freaking regular, original Xbox games. I was looking at my Xbox collection, which I have a video, and I think I had to, if I remember correctly, I had to combine it with another system, like my 360 or something like that, just because I had so few. So I was like, I need to beef up my Xbox collection, and beef up I did. I did. Trademark that. I just went on a spree for tons of cheap games, and these were all just like, I don't think any of them were over $10. Most of them were under $5. And I was just like, click, 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 just going through. So I don't know hardly anything about most, if not all of these. If anybody knows anything about these games, or like says like, you have to try this one, I can't believe you've never played this, tell me in the comments down below, because I'm all over the place with my hands, and I apologize, because at least I don't think I normally am like so musical conductory, but I am like just super stoked to get a whole bunch more Xbox games for my collection. So, from the top, first one I got is Ninja Gaiden. I mean, anybody who played old school NES played Ninja Gaiden at some point, and it's brutally hard, but it was just such a cool game. The concept of just being this ninja, this badass, just going through and, you know, doing ninja stuff, hanging on walls and shooting shurikens and all that kind of stuff. It was just really, really cool. So I was like, man, that's super cheap. Although it says EB Games $49.99, that is certainly not what I paid for this. It's just an old sticker, and I could do a whole video on stickers that are, like, don't come off. It really makes me mad, and I really don't like it. There's some collectors who, like, I think Adrian actually told me a while ago, I think it was him, he was saying, like, that it doesn't bother him as much if it's, like, you know, an old sticker that you can tell from, like, an older game store, and I can kind of understand that, simply because, you know, it's part of the past, it's part of the memory and the history of that game. So that, I guess, is kind of neat, but at the same time, I'm a purist, man. I just want the original stuff as it was, with no residue and crap on there. And it's a personal thing. I'm just not a fan of when I can't get the sticker off. So, Ninja Gaiden on Xbox. Yeah. Next, Gun. I have heard of this, but I have not played it at all. So that's literally the extent of my knowledge on this. Basically, Wild West looks like, and I guess you're just a cowboy or something, and you have your gun, I'm assuming, and you shoot stuff and people. So it was cheap. Picked it up. It was cheap. So yep. Next one is Thief, a game I actually wanted to pick up a long time ago. Just never did, and I think I just forgot about it after a while. But stealth games have always fascinated me. I'm terrible at them, but they've always been like super intriguing to me. And this has been one that's been on my radar for a long time. And you know how you like when you hear about a game that first comes out and you're like, I'll get it when it's cheaper, and you hold off. And then sometimes you just forget about it, but every now and then you'll see it like at a convention or online or something like that. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot, I need to get that at some point. And this time I just pulled the trigger because, again, it was just so cheap. So, Thief Deadly Shadows, I will definitely try that at some point as well. Next is Mech Assault. Honestly, not a huge fan of mechs, which is surprising considering my second favorite game of all time is Xenogears, which is very heavily mech influenced. Although technically my first favorite game, Final Fantasy VI, is steampunk, and I'm also not a fan of steampunk. I don't know why I did that voice just now, at all. No idea. But I thought this looked kind of neat. And so, again, super cheap. Just mechs beating the crap out of each other, shooting missiles and that kind of stuff. So I was like, sure, why not? Let's give it a shot. Absolutely. So I will absolutely try this at some point as well. I love just getting a pile of new games. Like, I'm much less conscious of the cost if it's, obviously common sense. I'm much less conscious of the cost if I've paid hardly anything for them, because then I can look at the pile and be like, oh, hell yeah. But if it's like a pile of games that are all brand new and it's like, 6-7 games right there, and I know that I paid full price for all of them. Actually, I don't know that that's ever really happened to me, because that's ludicrous, and I just don't have that much money. But at least not all at the same time. But I would definitely be more conscious of like, oh my god, I spent so much money on that, and I'm not even going to play most of these games for a while. Like, so I like seeing this because I know that I didn't pay hardly anything for them, and it's just, at the risk of sounding like a total dork, which is not uncommon for me, I just love knowing that there's these whole worlds to explore and new gameplay mechanics to experience and stuff all waiting inside these things. So I don't know, it's just, that's the way my mind works, the way it is. Tetris Worlds. It's Tetris. It was cheap. I've always enjoyed Tetris, always had fun with it. It's always been a game that I can just pick up and just have a little fun with. Not something I play for super long, but again, this was super cheap, and I was like, sure, pull the trigger on it. Yeah. And I love these all have their manuals and stuff too, so I was pleasantly surprised on a lot of these. Like I said, there was only like 3 games that didn't have the stuff. Another one that I don't know much about, but I remember hearing about quite a bit, that's Dead to Rights. And I'll be honest with you, I can't remember if I've heard this game as absolute garbage or like that it was a classic. I don't know. But I saw that it was cheap, and I recognized the name, and I was like, sure, what the hell. So I honestly don't know. I'm sure that some of you out there who are big Xbox fans, I just don't have a lot of experience with the Xbox systems. Which one is it? Is it good, or is it, so just tell me, let me know down below. Like I said, name recognition and super cheap, so picked it up. Next one, because I thought the movie was pretty kick-ass. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I don't know anything about the game at all. I thought the movie was fascinating, and it was super cheap again. So I was like, it's so generic on the back. It literally just says superhuman martial arts. Face your destiny. a fistful of bonuses. Like, I don't know anything about this game at all, but I like the movie. So, again, super cheap. Went for it. There it is. Seeing a theme here? Medal of Honor, Rising Sun. You know what? I enjoy these. I enjoy all the old Medal of Honor games. The single player component to them. So I saw this again, super cheap, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. I didn't have this one. I don't think I hope I don't. But I definitely had always seen it and wanted to try it out. So definitely looking forward to giving this one a shot at some point too. So yeah, Medal of Honor. I like those military shooters when they have single player campaigns. I just like playing through those, especially if like they're historical based and just kind of give I almost said fun story. They're not. The stories are super fun, but an interesting story to go along with the big conflict that we all know as part of history. So yeah. And the next one, every once in a while, I like, what's the saying? Once in a blue moon? Something like that? I don't know. Either way, I just combined like 4 sayings, I think. High Rollers Casino. I will, like I said, once every now and then I will get a casino game where I just can, go in there, dick around and play blackjack or, poker or something like that. And that's exactly what this was, and it was super cheap. The biggest one that I have is that's super nostalgic for me is Vegas Dream on the NES, and that is because I just remember that was my dad's game, and he played the crap out of it. He was never a gamer at all, but he loved playing Vegas Dream just because he liked to go in. He would lose like in the first like 15 minutes because he wanted to win big on everything, and obviously you're not playing with real money, so it's like, why wouldn't you just go in and bet everything you have on every hand, which is what he would do. So it always cracked me up because he would lose pretty quickly, but he loved it. He loved playing. So I have a lot of nostalgia just for casino games in general because of Vegas Dream. So I was like, another one super cheap. Pick it up. So there you have it. High Rollers Casino. Yeah. So next week I will go over the rest of the games that I got here. Some are games, some are peripherals, and including, I'm sure you can see what this big thing is as well. And a couple of books to complete some games in my collection as well. So super excited to go over that stuff too. It's just, yeah, man, I was pretty shocked at how much I had actually accumulated lately. So, but definitely excited for it. So with these games though, tell me if there's anything like specific in there that you're like, I can't believe you bought that game. Like, please tell me you didn't pay over $5 for it or something. Something like that. Chances are I didn't. But like, and like, well, like other than obviously Last of Us Part 2 and that kind of thing. But I are any of these like classics and like games I need to get to right away because I am super stoked that I have more Xbox games finally. And like I said, I hardly know anything about the Xbox and its library. So, yeah, I'm always looking for recommendations on that, and these I literally just picked up mainly because they were super cheap, and a couple of them on name recognition. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next week, where I will do part 2 and that side. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and as always, keep on gaming.